back, everybody. Everybody in the chat. Let's get to this down. Hey Zaza. Hey bro. What's up, Zaza? Why you ain't sleep? Lil Bone that. I'm about to record, okay? Don't get on my nerves. How y'all feeling though, man? It's Chief Why Not? Chief of Why Not, the tribe. Appreciate the support and energy, everybody, man. What's up, though? We got one person in the building so far. What's up, Adara? Peace, goddess. Class in session. Hey, Dali. Peace, goddess. What's up, beautiful? Class in session. We're just going to be tapping in, you know, touching in on what is sorcery. So I was like, can you do me a favor? Can you go sit down? I'm about to record, okay? Don't be walking around, G. Okay? Go. Come on. Move. Move. Well, sit down. Sit. Sit. I don't have a cage on this, alright? We'll cage on this. But yeah, this is a download about sorcery. What is sorcery? A lot of us, you know, we have no idea what the fundamentals of, you know, things are. Sorcery, you know, some of the dark practices, you feel me, that's a part of the spiritual journey. A lot of us getting pulled into, you know, these different practices, and we not even knowing this is what we indulging in. So real quick, y'all know I gotta light my medicine up. This is my sage right here. Gotta light the sage up. Oh yeah, by the way, man, if anybody know how to fix the fucking camera when going live on YouTube. See, my live look cool right now. It's a mirror reflection of me. But once the live video is loaded onto YouTube, it be making my shit look lopsided. I be like, damn, that shit wasn't looking like that when I had recorded. So my face be looking lopsided as hell after the recording. So it's deep. Anybody know how to fix that shit? Let me know, man. I appreciate it, man. Of course, we're not here for looks or anything else. We're here for the knowledge. So let's get to it. By the way, later on today around like, what time is it now? Okay, about like 9, 10 o'clock, we're going to do spirit showers over here again. So pull up for tonight's meditation. It is a new moon. Let's harness this, you know, this new moon energy in the right way. So, you know, there'll be smooth, you know, calm waters in the oceans the remaining of the month. So real quick, what is sorcery? Sorcery can be classified as many things. One classification of sorcery that I think makes a whole lot of sense is the practice of black magic. Now this is what sorcery is. Sorcery, the practice of black magic. Okay. That leads me to my next question. What is black magic? And black magic is the invoking or summoning of evil spirits for evil purposes. So basically, if you're using magic, you're using your powers for evil purposes. Well, this will classify you as a sorcerer because you're using black magic. Black magic is when you use magic for evil purposes, basically. So we don't want to indulge in any black magic, any sorcery practices. If you're a woman, you will be a sorceress. A man would be a sorcerer. It's a lot of spirit summoning practices people indulging in, and they have no idea what they getting themselves into. And they don't even want to know. Some people, if you tell them that they're doing spirit summoning practices, they wouldn't even believe you, but you're telling them the truth. You know, like tarot. A lot of us indulging in tarot. We either doing tarot readings. Peace and love, peace and healing, God. Okay, that's my boy Wise God. What up, though, broski? So a lot of us doing tarot. A lot of us not knowing that this is spirit summoning. But you would tell someone, yo, you know you're indulging in spirit summoning practices. Not necessarily saying it's a good or a bad thing, because it's neither good or bad. It's about the intentions of the person utilizing that energy or that wisdom and knowledge. So you would tell them the truth, like, yo, this is spirit summoning. They say, well, I don't believe that. So it's deep. So this is what sorcery is. The use of black magic. What is black magic? The invoking or summoning of evil spirits for evil purposes. So basically black magic or dark magic is when you're using your magic for evil purposes. As I said, we want to stay away from those intentions. We want to keep the mind and the intent as pure as possible. Now, what is magic? Magic could be, well, magic is science. I'll put it like that. Magic is science. So it's like I practice telekinesis or aerokinesis. Someone would say I'm doing magic. I get that all the time. Yo, you practicing magic. What spirits you working with? You know voodoo? Let me find out you doing voodoo, chief. I tell them, no, it's just science. Telekinesis is science. So, to a person that doesn't know science, they call it magic. Same thing. So you got like the unseen forces that's mixing and merging together. And this is on a biological level. Biology, you know, a branch of science. So this is a science thing. But if I could make water merge together right now, and make it rain in one spot, you guys will probably say I know some good magic. But it's just science. So it's like you had these indigenous tribes, and tribes of today still do this very effective dance called the rain dance. And the rain dance is when you get a group of people, tribe full of people, to come in one spot. And they're breathing, they're dancing, they're singing and chanting. Before you know it, rain starts to pour down in that spot. So we would say they know magic. But it's really a hot air meeting cold air, creating physical substance. You know, like how you can have a cold glass, right, or a cold mirror, and you blow your hot breath on the mirror or on the glass, and that creates condensation. You can write your name in it. Creates moisture. That's water that manifested from the unseen. So imagine if I had 100 people, 50 people doing this, dancing around, getting themselves worked up, chanting. You need sound. Sound is very important in creating or manifesting. Sound. This is why the chants and, you know, different sounds are needed, are always there. So you get 50 people in one spot dancing around, working themselves up, doing a specific type of breathing technique. They breathing out a specific way. A lot of times you'll see them hold their head back, and their head is vertical. Their neck is vertical. We're up above. You get 50 people doing that, you feel me? You can create rain in one spot. See how that is science. But someone that don't know science, they would say, wow, these motherfuckers just made it rain. They know magic. Same shit though, magic is science. Now, black magic is the use of the invoking of evil spirits, or summoning of evil spirits for evil purposes. But if you're using your magic to heal people, well, this is a good thing. And this is what magic was used for. See, magic was given to us from nature, meaning the wisdom of, or the knowledge of certain sciences or magical practices. It was given to us from nature, you feel me, for two purposes: to heal and for protection. To heal people and self, also to protect self and people. This is what magic should be used for. Magic shouldn't be used to cause affliction, only for protection. So if you have to afflict somebody with magic by protecting you, ashe, so be it. But it's deep. So if we're using our magic for healing purposes, well, this is just, this is good, this is a divine thing. Start using magic for evil purposes, start to cause affliction on people, and you want to start controlling people, because magic is used to control you too. This is black magic once you start using your magic for evil purposes. So in the past you had like witches. Well, they only became witches. Well, witches know magic. And these are our ancestors. Most of our ancestors will be quote unquote categorized as witches. In the past, the witches, they weren't called witches when they were healers. Once they started being accused of using witchcraft to cause affliction or control, then this is when the terminology witch has started to spread sporadically. So you had healers. What's the difference between a witch and a healer? What is a witch? This is a very good question. So a witch, you have different types of witches. You have satanic witches, you have dark witches, you have light witches. The light workers, the light witches or light workers, they use their powers, they use witchcraft for healing purposes. This is what a witch is, one who practices the craft, witchcraft. In fact, you know, I was born in '89, I'm 32, so back in the day, they had a witch movie called The Craft. Dope ass movie, it's good as fuck. It's called The Craft. Y'all can look it up, I think it's on YouTube. I might check that shit out tonight. That shit was dope when these four witches It was a coven of witches, and they started trying to, they was best friends, then they started trying to kill each other. It's crazy, but this is what a witch is, one who practices the craft, witchcraft. Now, witches can heal you. You can use witchcraft for healing purposes. Witchcraft isn't only used for evil purposes. You can use voodoo for healing purposes. Voodoo can do way more than cause affliction. However, I wouldn't indulge in any of these practices without knowing what you're doing. If you try to do some magic, witchcraft, or voodoo, you might fuck yourself up if you don't know what you're doing. I'm talking about it. This shit boils down to the right type of ritual, all the way down to the correct time and date. If you do this a certain rituals on the wrong day, well, it can fuck you up. A lot of people don't know that. That's why a lot of people diving into this shit and they fucking themselves up. They coming out. I don't even got the words for them. They coming out more messed up. But this shit be deep, man. So back in the day, you had witches. They used their powers for healing purposes. And then some of them, you know, started to develop an evil spirit and started causing that, using witchcraft to cause affliction. So what's the difference between voodoo and witchcraft? Voodoo is roots. And roots is the knowledge of the plant. Witchcraft utilizes roots as well. Witchcraft, you know, you have to have knowledge of the plant as well to do witchcraft. So roots, this is the common connection. Of course, both parties use astrology as well. You know, an evil witch or a sorceress, or even a sorcerer, they can bound you to your natal chart. If I was a sorcerer, I could bound you to your astrological programming, meaning I can put sorcery on you. I can bound you, meaning I can take over your mind and have you to go outside the box that I put you in, which is your natal chart, your placements. To go outside of that, reality won't even be a thought in your mind. Kind of like a slave that's been born into slavery and he thinks like he's supposed to be on a plantation working for master. You try to tell him, like, you know, you're supposed to be free. Let's get out of here. No, I'm supposed to be a slave for master. I can bound, if I was a sorcerer, I can bound you to your natal chart and put you in that type of mentality. Like, no, this is me. I can't go outside of this or whatever. You feel me? All I need you to do is believe in it. I be dropping secrets. You know, I'm like Tahuti in the Emerald Tablets. Tablet 15, Secrets of Secrets. But you know, I'm not a sorcerer, so fuck it. Come and get me. But real talk, a sorcerer can bound you to your natal chart. All they need you to do is believe in it. Once you believe in it, they got you. That's the hard part, getting somebody to believe in some shit. So, you know, this is what they do. What's the difference between witchcraft and voodoo, though? Back to the topic. Voodoo is roots. Roots is the knowledge of the plant. Witchcraft deals with roots too. Both deal with astrology. So what's the difference between witchcraft and voodoo? The difference is when dealing with voodoo. To practice voodoo requires an ancestral connection. So you can't do roots without connecting back to the ancestors and think you're doing voodoo. I couldn't practice roots without an ancestors connection, without an ancestral connection, and think and practice voodoo. Meaning I can do roots, I can practice roots without an ancestral connection. But if I do that, that would just be like witchcraft. If I have an ancestral connection, this will be like voodoo, because voodoo requires an ancestral connection. Witchcraft doesn't. You can, a witch, someone practicing witchcraft they can practice roots. They can do all type of shit, rituals, you feel me, do, you know, astrological alignments. But someone that's practicing voodoo has an ancestral connection. Someone that's practicing witchcraft don't need an ancestral connection. So witches don't need like to connect back to the ancestors. However, this is why voodoo is much more powerful than witchcraft. Voodoo is way more powerful than witchcraft. Witchcraft is effective, but you gotta know what you're doing. You have to be a crafty, you know, in your craft. You have to be crafty. A very wise person to do witchcraft. Because if you don't know what you're doing, you can fuck yourself up, or it just won't work. It won't work. So voodoo is much more effective than witchcraft because of the ancestral connection. If someone put roots on you, it's gonna hit fast. And when it hit, it's gonna hit you hard. If someone do witchcraft on you, it might affect you, but that shit like light work compared to voodoo. Because voodoo, the reason witchcraft is not effective as voodoo is because in witchcraft you don't need an ancestral connection. You have knowledge of the plant, which is roots. You know what you're doing on certain astrological alignments. You got your ritual. You got all the materials you need for ritual purposes. Because to do a ritual, this is why I'm saying, like, a lot of us practicing like spirit summoning practices, and we have no idea what we can get ourselves into. We could be causing great affliction upon self. So for like certain rituals and shit, you need certain materials. You may need the goat, the head of a goat. You gotta chop a goat's head off. You're gonna need a specific type of scent, you know, specific type of smell. So you gotta know the alchemy of smells and what smells to deal with. Whether it be sage, incense, oils, because in the alchemy of scent, for every smell, there's a spirit attached to it or an energy attracted to it. So when we lighting sage up, people be like, I'm using sage, I'm burning sage to clear out the space, clear out the negative energy. That's not the case, because sage is used to attract energy, and this is due to the alchemy of scent. Smells attract different spirits, different energies. So we have to know what energy or what spirit is attracted to what smell. You might light a specific type of sage, and this sage has a pleasant smell to you, but it's the wrong type of energy for you that's attracted to that smell. You not knowing like, damn, why you be feeling in a certain way, why shit be going like differently every time you like the smell, but you like the smell. You feel me? Hey, what's up, good and bad Juju? Peace, goddess. That's Vibe Days. What up, though, sweetie? But yeah, though. Oh yeah, follow the goddess too. She definitely doing her thing on the knowledge on the YouTube too, though. Appreciate all the support, everybody, man. Appreciate all the energy. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up on the video, man. You know that help with the algorithms. Gratitude, much love. But as far as like sage, we like sage because we think we clearing the space or clearing the energy. We actually attracting energies and attracting spirits because energies or spirits are attracted to different type of smells. Every smell has a specific energy that comes with it. It's like death. You smell a dead body or something that's dead, it's a different type of energy that associate with that. You ever smell like a dead mouse in a garage or some shit, or on the garbage can or some shit, and it just, that whole area is like a different realm. To walk through the hallway, as soon as you go in that room where that dead mice at, it's the whole room just feel off because of that smell, the energy that's attracted to that smell. So in rituals, you need specific type of smells because you need the spirit that's attracted to a specific, you need to know what smells you're working with because you're gonna need a specific spirit. And smells like sage, incense, oils, these are used to attract spirits. So if you're doing like a manifestation ritual, you need to know what spirits is working with the manifestation, with manifesting. You feel me? What spirit is good to work with in manifesting? Now, it's more than one way to manifest things. I'm not saying you want to manifest, you need to do spirit summoning practices. I'm not saying that, because I don't do that. But you feel me, definitely fell into that shit. So I have knowledge, extensive knowledge. I'm well learned on like spirit summoning practices. Not even knowing this is what I was indulging in. As a lot of people don't know this is what they indulging in. So if you are doing like rituals, make sure you're doing the right shit. Because a lot of people that think they doing rituals, setting up altars, they really don't even know what they doing, and they causing affliction upon self. Peace to all the new people in the building, man. Hey, do me a favor. Hit that like button, man. I appreciate the energy, y'all. But look though, so when rituals, you need, if you do a ritual on the wrong day, on the wrong time, this can fuck you up also. So when you doing these things, you need like certain materials. As I said, you need specific smells. You need to do it on the right time, date, and location. It's a specific way you're supposed to be facing when you're doing a ritual. Because in the beginning you had the gods or the spirits that ruled over the four corners of the earth. The four corners of the earth. You have the gods and the spirits, or the spirits, because God means spirit. You look up the word and say spirit or deity. So you have, in the beginning, you have the spirits that ruled the four corners of the earth. Now this spirit, these spirits govern the four corners. What is the four corners? North, south, east, and west. So specific rituals, you need to be facing a specific direction, whether it be south, north, east, or west. It depends on your intentions. What are you doing a ritual for? What type of ritual are you doing? A lot of people not even aware of this. And this is why they shit ain't working. You feel me? Because they not being taught correctly, because they not diving deep enough. A lot of us not diving deep enough. Like we scared to get into it. We scared to know like real knowledge because it's truly, you know, a whole different world. So when we find certain shit out, we realize like, yo, we ain't ready for it. So man, it's for real, goddess. I appreciate it, goddess. So when we doing rituals, you need like certain smells. You need to do it on a certain time, date, and location. You need to do it on a specific astrological alignment. That astrological alignment is very important. So people are just doing rituals sporadically, spur of the moment type shit. Not even paying to what's going on up above. So it's deep. Certain lunar phases, if you do a ritual during certain lunar phases, this will have a great impact and it can help. But people not even paying attention to the moon, like, oh, okay, it's a waxing gibbous moon, or it's a waning crescent. Last quarter, you feel me? Perfect time, like, it's deep. Time, date, location, smells, the right astrological alignments, do the ritual on the right astrological alignments. And I say you might need like physical things, like you might need the head of a goat. You be like, man, motherfuckers be practicing voodoo and shit, man. Dude got like 7 goats in his front yard. For ritualistic purposes only. That motherfucker probably manifested 200,000-300,000. He got that shit sitting in the ceiling in his house or some shit. The fuck is he manifesting all this money and shit? And he doing the arts and he doing it right. And whatever comes with the arts, he's okay with that. He don't give a fuck what the consequences is. A lot of people that practice voodoo and witchcraft, they know if you use your powers for evil purposes, they know like this shit has to come back on you. So if I chose to put roots on somebody, I know that shit gonna come back. That's how voodoo works. If you cause affliction with your powers, you gotta be prepared for when it come back, because it's coming back. Every person that does voodoo, wise person that does voodoo, all the wise men know like, yeah, it's gonna come back, but I don't care. That's why I got one eye right now, or that's why my leg chopped off right now. That's why you feel me? That's why I'm coming, but I don't care. You feel me? Walking around fucked up, like damn, whole eye missing. You feel me? Leg cut off. You feel me? It's like voodoo did that to you, but this motherfucker probably know like that shit. He probably know like, yo, he probably can do some real shit. G, like, but it's deep, so you might need like the head of a goat, the blood of a chicken, hen's blood. You know, the blood of a chicken is psychedelic. Like, it's deep. A chicken's blood, and this knowledge goes so deep. But as I said, what's the difference between witchcraft and voodoo? Voodoo is the knowledge of the plant, which is roots. So is witchcraft. But the difference is, to practice voodoo requires an ancestral connection. To practice witchcraft, you don't need an ancestral connection. But of course, voodoo hits harder. You doing voodoo right the right way, you got your ancestral connection, you in alignment with the ancestors, your shit gonna hold weight. Your voodoo gonna be it's gonna be very effective. It's gonna hit quickly too, and when it hit, it's gonna hit hard. Like, yeah, that's that spirit work God put in. But a motherfucker that's practicing witchcraft is effective. There's nothing to play with. But it ain't hitting like voodoo, because the reason voodoo is heavier than witchcraft is because the ancestral connection. So a witch if she practicing witchcraft, she don't need to connect with the ancestors. But a Wungal, so I think a Wungal is a voodoo priest or priestess. A Wungal, they doing voodoo and they got a connection with the ancestors, and they shit heavy. But you know, it's deep. So just be careful, because once you start to use your magic or your powers for evil purposes, well then this is black magic. You're practicing black magic. You're practicing sorcery. Sorcery is the use of black magic. Black magic is the invoking or summoning of evil spirits for evil purposes. So basically, black magic is when you're using your magic for evil purposes. You never fall into that side of, magic, because you become dangerous to yourself and society. You want to make it to the kingdom of God, where the intention must be pure. At the end of your life cycle, the heart must weigh lighter than a feather. So always remember that. No matter what you do, never use your powers, your magic, for evil purposes. Always remain on the healing side of things, and nature will take care of you forever. It's deep, man. It's Chief. Why not, though, man? I'm finna end this live. I appreciate the energy, appreciate the support, everybody. Again, why not stand for you need only truth. So put them wise up, because it's time to wise up. Peace and healing, everybody.